Yo, what's up, guys? You got PokeaimMD here with an Uber's Showdown live with some, we got some flames today. We got some Fuga fire, I like to call it. Omfuga is a good buddy of mine, and I've always loved the way he builds because he's so set in using whatever the hell he wants when he plays. And I love that so much about him. He's been a long time friend of mine, so I got this team from him. I'll probably have him on the channel. Usually whenever I do my OLT runs and I stream it, he's usually there in call because he's I usually use his teams because they're just so fun on the ladder. But in any case, I just want to say I'm not sure when this video will go up because I'm recording a bunch in a row, but I do, because this is the first one that I'm recording, I just want to say thank you for all the kind words on the Volcanion video. If you watch that, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, of course, hopefully you guys enjoy this live. So we got nice Groudon that takes +2 close combat from Lucario after rocks. We have Choice Band Rayquaza with Toxic. I like Toxic. It's really nice because support Arceus is more than likely coming in. We have Defogging Arceus Dark. Max Speed helps out with the Arceus Ghost matchup, as well as allows us to outspeed and Will-O-Wisp Lucario. Spadef Scizor. Swords and Spadef Scizor too, which is really cool, using an offensive variant. I might put Superpower on it as well, just to help out versus E-Killer, since that would actually really help a lot. We have Choice Scarf Zerian. This is a clean set. You see this EV spread, 88 special attack, 244 speed, 176 defense. Well, I mean, yeah, you never know what's gonna happen with this set. I'm not gonna lie, but this lets it take +2 Lucario's Bullet Punch after. This lets it take +2 Lucario's Bullet Punch. And look at our moveset. Honestly, all you need is Sleep Talk. I mean, wow. All you need is Moonblast on Xerneas anyway. But we got Aromatherapy. We got a nice Toxic. Toxic wears down again. Support Arceus and whatnot, as well as Groudon. And then we have a Lugia without Whirlwind, but we have Psychic, which is nice versus Gengar when this team has no pursuit. So I'm on the GG's account. It's the account that I share with Envy for SubHub, but obviously no, it's not SubHub right now. I explained that that's not going to be here this week. But yeah, we're going to be looking for a battle. Also, if you guys want to pick up the Boost merchandise, it's only available till March 30th. Right now it says 9 days away. Again, I'm not sure when this is going up, but if you guys want to go ahead and pick that up, feel free to. Link is down below. I know a lot of people already got theirs, which is really cool that they have express shipping now. Anyway, my opponent's team. Arceus Dark is really nice. I love how Arceus Dark beats everything on my opponent's team. Klefki doesn't beat Arceus Dark. It can only click Play Rough because Prankster moves don't work on Dark types, and that's Spikes, that's Toxic, that's Thunder Wave. So Arceus Dark is an amazing lead, and I can click Will-O-Wisp right away. I'm assuming my opponent will want to lead off with... Okay, what's the best lead I can lead off with that doesn't give me a bad matchup versus, I want to say, Lucario. I think Scarf Xerneas, because Moonblast is going to do a ton anyway, and I have an immediate switch into that Mon. Which is, if it's Klefki, I have Arceus Dark. As funny as that is, that's my immediate switching. So I'm going to throw off a nice Moonblast here. I don't mind getting paralyzed. I have Aromatherapy as well. Or Toxic, that's fine. So it gets off a Toxic on me. Again, I don't really mind. I'm not going to predict the Klefki. I'm not going to bother predicting anything. As I can just click Moonblast again. My opponent just gave me his Groudon, Giratina, excuse me, which was one of his switch-ins to Rayquaza. And it looks like my opponent probably predicted me to double, expecting Klefki. But, you know, Xerneas... It's when you play with this Mon, the best way to use it, I feel anyway, is just attack, man. You just straight up attack. So Giratina is gone. We're gonna go right out into our Arceus Dark, and again, you'll see what I mean. Like because of Prankster, you're not gonna be able to touch me. We'll just Will-O-Wisp here. Whether it hits Lucario, Kyogre, we beat Yveltal 1v1 if we Toxic it with some of our Mons. If he actually goes hard Lucario, that'd be a pretty poor play, I think. That just stays in. So it allows me to burn the Klefki, which is nice. Also means Play Rough is incredibly weak, and we can just defog away all these hazards. And the defog is going to mean that I can connect with this Will-O-Wisp on Lucario, and I will be faster because I am max speed. I'm going to take a lot from close combat, but it's going to be half, and I can always recover up later versus a burnt Klefki. So I'll definitely take this. Some Arceus don't run max speed, which is fine. Some also run just enough for Lucario, because Lucario, the auto Mega Boost in this generation is crazy. Gives me the burn on Kyogre, which is great. Gonna be able to wear that thing down and give me my Groudon as a switch in. I'm assuming Ice Beam's gonna come out, but I think Groudon's still just the best play. I do want Rocks up to threaten Yveltal as he drops a Thunder. but trying to predict Lugia out here. Calm down, buddy. But we can go for our stealth rock. Oh, wow. Wow. Anybody hear that voice? Oof. Help me. I'm actually going to double out into my Xerneas because I think that a Veltal might be coming out, or maybe a support Arceus, and plus I can go for aromatherapy, and you can't go for any other attack. You can't go for the what's it called versus me. You can't go for a water attack that turn, or you could, but you wouldn't really. I don't think you would. And we'll just go for aromatherapy just to get rid of the toxic on my Groudon. I have no idea what type of Arceus set he's running. I don't think it's defog based on this. I don't mind losing my my Xerneas, as again I do have Arceus Dark, as well as Rayquaza, and Choice Band Rayquaza is probably going to pick up a kill right here. It's toxic on Kyogre, so I'm actually not sure what set it is. It could be Fizz Death. Either way, I don't see a Choice Band. There's no Choice Band switches to this Mon. And hopefully all I got to do is even win with potentially SCIZOR. SCIZOR actually can set up on Klefki and then bullet punch everything on my opponent's team. I don't know what type of Arceus it is. Fairy is actually a problem if it is, which is also why SCIZOR is great in the back and still having Groudon to phase it out. And with Rocks up, we'll be threatening everything. If Lucario comes out, I'm just straight up attacking it. I don't care. Iron Tail will be able to knock me out after the defense. I should be able to, or it'll be close. Ice Punch definitely knocks me out, and it will be faster because of the auto speed boost. But goes Keys, which is fine. I still have Arceus Dark as a switching. Annoyingly enough, my opponent does have the spikes, but we'll Judgment here just for damage on something, whether it be Klefki or because I want to defog really badly. And I think I don't lose anything from it because if my opponent switches out to Lucario now, I get the evasion drop, which means that Will-O-Wisp will connect, and Klefki is already going down anyway, and my defog goes second because of Prankster. So you just see how, and defog also gets rid of screens, so I don't care about that at all. And Burn being nerfed, this Judgment will not be able to knock him out with it, and I can just spam defog right now. My opponent can potentially get off damage on me if it does have Play Rough. But the Klefki is going to be doing absolutely nothing. So whatever attack my opponent chooses to go for now doesn't matter at all because I'll be able to defog it away. And again, going right back out to Lucario, which is amazing because I can just hit this Will-O-Wisp because of the evasion drop. I'm going to take a ton from close combat. It's Lucario, man. It's going to do a ton. Ooh, 55% actually is not that bad. I'm not going to lie. That's a little bit less than I thought. That's just a little bit less than I thought. Because my Groudon can tank any hit, I want to go out to it and also get up rocks just to chip away at the Yveltal. Also, if Lucario ends up going for close combat or something, or Swords Dance predicting me, it can't knock me out at +2, and I can knock anything out with Lava Plume. And rocks are just great for chipping away at Yveltal. That is a problem. Earthquake does absolutely nothing. And again, I think it might be Arceus Fairy, but I always have SCIZOR in the back. So I should be good. SCIZOR is just looking good to go right now. So you can close combat me again, which is stronger. And I can knock him out with Lava Plume. Klefki should go down to Rocks if I'm not mistaken. I think it's at 6%. Yeah, it should go down to Rocks. Should definitely go down to Rocks. Doesn't 4 times resist them, only 2 times. So it should go down, which means I don't have to worry about that. Yveltal is going to come in. We'll find out what type of Yveltal you are right now. I always have multi-scale Lugia in the back, y'all. I'm gonna allow him to knock me out. He cannot knock out Rayquaza in one hit, and if I'm faster, I'm gonna do a ton to it anyway. I can always knock it out with Bullet Punch after, so I'm gonna throw off a Dragon Ascent. I guess there's the option of flinching me, or there's a chance, but nope, I'm faster because Omfuga runs plus speed. It is indeed E-Killer, which means I can just Dragon Ascent this. I guess if it's Recovery E-Killer, then it still can't touch me, and it looks like it's Silk Scarf just based on that damage. That could be Silk Scarf, actually. Yeah, based on that damage, it looks good. But knock me out with the Extreme Speed. And I can just go right out to Arceus, which does tank an Extreme Speed at this range. I think that's Adamant, not Jolly. It could be Lumbear, I suppose, but I still tank a hit. And I can knock him out with the Judgment at that range, and even if it didn't, it put it in KO range of Scizor's Bullet Punch. And the only reason I didn't go Scizor is because what if there's that small chance that my opponent has Overheat Arceus? which can be run sometimes. It really is dependent on the team. That's more so, I think, a counter style type of thing that you would see in tournament play, because I definitely brought over Arceus in SPL. I mean, I love E-Killer. E-Killer is my favorite Arceus to use in SPL. So, I've definitely brought that. But that was a good first game. You guys got to see how well Arceus Dark is, or how good Dark types in general are in this meta, just because they can't, the Prankster nerf, man, they can't be touched by Prankster Mons, by Prankster moves anyway, and that's mainly, obviously VGC, that has to do with VGC, that's because of VGC. I think that they didn't want people swaggering. I really don't think they want people swaggering each other with their live hearts. We got another game, which will be a little bit more annoying, because my opponent does have a Zygarde, which is a problem. SCIZOR is ridiculously good in this, though. I want to lead off with Xerneas because I can immediately scare out Yveltal and Toxic something, which is what I want to do. I'm hoping that my opponent goes out into Groudon or Lugia. I don't think he'd stay in. If my opponent did stay in, maybe to knock me off. So let's see if we can land this Toxic. We actually landed the first Toxic of the day. Who am I? Let's see what I want to do here. That being weakened, again, like if I get up rocks, if it's defensive Zygarde, then last mon SCIZOR wins. Like looking at it, last mon SCIZOR wins. I got a Toxic, potentially Arceus Water. It's looking like Arceus Water, but last mon SCIZOR does win this game. I don't want him Thunder Waving Lugia. Actually, I don't care. I should care, but I don't think I care too much. Let's set this thing as Toxic, but I'm gonna throw off a Toxic here just in case my opponent wants to go out into Yveltal. It could be Aromatherapy, Xerneas. If my opponent wants to stay in the Thunder Wave me, that's fine, but I think Yveltal would be a better switch-in. Nope, there's a second Toxic. Okay, so that's the one I really wanted to land. I unfortunately missed, but we do have Arceus Dark as a decent switch-in, as my opponent goes for Taunt. It's a great play on my opponent's part, preventing me from defogging this turn. In fact, if my opponent wanted to, they could just stay in and go for Oblivion, and this is actually bad. Very good play. Very, very solid play. I want to see what type of Yveltal this is, though. Yeah. Alright, so that taunt sucked. It was a very, very, very solid play on my opponent's part, though. I like that play a lot. We're going to go out into Xerneas. I really wish I hit that Toxic, but, I mean, it's my fault for using, you know, an inaccurate move, right? So, I'm thinking my opponent thinks they might be faster than me, that I'm not going to be Choice Scarf. I'm going to throw off Moonblast regardless of what my opponent wants to do. Again, weakening the Groudon is amazing for SD SCIZOR. That's why landing Toxic would have also been great. But we're going to go Lugia. Lugia is just a great all-around switching. Brings me out to the SCIZOR. No. No, 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 no. I do not want that. Gotta go back on a Lugia. I don't like Lugia being weakened because Lugia is one of my best matchups versus Zygarde in this game. There's the Fire Punch, though. Yeah, I don't mind that damage. And we'll just roost off. My opponent wants to roar Fire Punch again or Precious Blaze. That's fine. Roar me out and then you get knocked out by Toxic. So Groudon's gone, which means when I defog, Hazards are gone. Hazards are gone. I could see Xerneas coming out though. Xerneas definitely coming out. Potentially support Arceus maybe. If it's support Arceus though, I will recover just to defog since I don't mind Arceus, my own Arceus being on a timer. But yeah, Xerneas comes out. We're going to go Groudon here. And in fact, I want to pressure my opponent to defog, so I'm going to set up my rocks. Unless it's ZGO. Goes for Thunder, which makes you think that it's not ZGO, but more so potentially just regular Geomancy set. So, good up our Stealth Rock, as Lugia is going to come out. Lugia gives me a nice and solid, very solid SCIZOR switch in. I could actually see my opponent doubling here into something that could get rid of SCIZOR, but there's nothing on this team that really pressures SCIZOR too much, unless it's a random HP Fire Lugia. Assuming it doesn't learn Flamethrower, which I'm pretty positive it doesn't, because people were running that in the metagame with Ferrothorn, or old metagames with Ferrothorn. Yeah, sub doesn't matter, buddy. All I gotta do is Roost. It's Mega Evolve, Roost. You can whirl me out into Arceus. I'll just recover here. I don't feel like breaking a sub because I can always just defog away the. Oh, you can't even touch me. Nice. So let's just defog. I don't feel like breaking a sub because I can always beat him 1v1. And like you can't touch me at all. You cannot. I'm gonna go for Roost here. There's no way you don't have Roost as your last move. And he doesn't have Roost as his last move. Alright, so. That's cool. Well, Ice Beam. It's not going to break the sub. It shouldn't break the sub. But. He can't. You're not. That's so odd. Wow. I'm going to let Groudon be poisoned because I really want a Brox versus the Yveltal. This is a non-roosting Lugia. I'm assuming it might be one of those super, well, I think the VGC players like to call them, what is it, Super Citrus Berries? That's a nice name. I like that name. I'll go for Loudbloom here just in case my opponent wants to go for the Whirlwind. I already showed Roar. No, I have not. So, might go for Sub again. Either way, we phase out that Lugia. That is what I want. And the Yveltal's going to come out. Nice. I can sack this to then go out to Xerneas and click Moonblast. No Moonblast switchings on my opponent's part. So we'll sack this. And the Yveltal is slowly but surely in range of +2 Bullet Punch. Xerneas comes out and I just click Moonblast by the looks of it. The fact that my opponent doesn't have Roost on Lugia, which is, wow, I would never not run Roost on Lugia, but it's obviously working. So I get a crit and that might just be game. It did do 40-something% though, so it could have been a roll. But I'm definitely going to be able to 2-hit KO Arceus Water. And again, it's really looking like SCIZOR is just going to win the game, or even Scarf Xerneas. And because I'm really defensive, Sucker Punch won't be able to knock me out from Yveltal, which I'm not even sure has it because he has Taunt. So it's looking pretty nice. Looking pretty nice. As I might say. It's looking pretty nice. As PK might say, not me. PK might say. Yuga comes out. There is no way I'm going to let you... I don't know who's calling me, but I'm going to turn the phone off. It might be Subaru. There's no way I'm going to let you toxic me. But I'll just Bullet Punch, get off some damage. I want to see what item it's running. Are you really going to try and freeze me? Okay, I should not let him freeze me, actually. So we're going to switch out to Lugia right here as he goes Zygarde. I don't want SCIZOR being frozen. It's very key in beating Xerneas. And this double ended up working out way better for me because I do have the Ice Beam, which threatens everything on my opponent's team. And this is 4 times effective. Yeah, you'll get your Mon with the power. I forgot the ability. Power Construct. There it is. But I'll still be able to break your sub, and then I'll be able to beat you 1v1 with... you can't even tell it has a sub, man. If you're on the opposite side, guys, you can't even tell it has a sub. I'm being honest. Like, you can't tell that Mon has a sub. I don't know if he has Extreme Speed, but I can just go for... Ice Beam again. It's not going to knock him out, just because of the increase in HP. I really don't know if my opponent has Extreme Speed. Should that matter? Maybe. I'm pretty sure Rayquaza's Choice Span Extreme Speed though knocks it out, and I don't necessarily need Rayquaza for this game. Besides just to click Extreme Speed anyway. At 23%, it might knock him out. Nope. Could be. Man's Dragon tell me. Alright, but it's confirmed that my opponent does not have. What's it called? Extreme Speed, which means that Xerneas can beat it 1v1. And I think, knowing that, I'm going to sack my Rayquaza because Arceus Dark can still Will-O-Wisp. Arceus Dark can still Will-O-Wisp the Yveltal. And we can just go right out into Xerneas. Actually, yeah, we're going to be faster. Unless he's max speed Jolly. Because we're not max speed Xerneas, but outspeed him, knock him out, and put him some work right here. Xerneas is going to come out. I'm not sure you're going to go for Geomancy. I'm going SCIZOR either way. I'm just going to click Bullet Punch. Goes for Thunder. Unfortunately misses. And we'll just Bullet Punch. We're going to play this safe. We're going to BP up. Because if Yveltal comes out, all I got to do is sack my all I got to do is sack my Arceus Dark. I just got to sack Arceus Dark, which doesn't have that much HP to begin with. So my opponent's not going to be recovering too much. I can always just click Judgment right here. Just get off some nice damage. Lovely damage. And you don't recover enough to the point where you live Bullet Punch from SCIZOR after rocks. So all I got to do is go out to Xerneas now. Click Moonblast. Knock out the Yveltal. Click Moonblast versus the Xerneas as well. Or if Xerneas comes out, that's fine. Moonblast is a solid 2-hit KO, assuming... my opponent could be Scarf, I guess. Which it is. I get a special attack drop, though, and you have to be Scarf to outspeed me. Which means I can go right out to SCIZOR and just SD up and win the game. I'm max speed SCIZOR. That's a crit. but we're gonna roost up that damage because I don't want to be in a random sucker punch range if my opponent has it. Absolutely no types of damage, and plus 2 SCIZOR is gonna be able to finish off this with 2 bullet punches. So 1 mon down, Zygarde, wow, Yveltal, go ahead and come out and catch. I want to see if you do have sucker punch. Doesn't matter anyway. A good game, dude. Alright, so that was a good game. Games are going, we got some nice 10-minute games, okay. I'm still enjoying the Ubers live, though. I actually love, I love playing Ubers. Ubers is one of my favorite tiers. Even in meta games where I want to use Solgaleo so badly, man. I want to use Scarf Solgaleo, I want to use Banded, I want to use Z-Splash. I think that Z-Splash Solgaleo is the only mon that I would actually ever use Z-Splash on. All the other mons get like Dragon Dance, they get like, it's an interesting team, but it's very scary. All the other mons get like, also very weak to SCIZOR. They get like Dragon Dance, they get like, for in Gyarados' case, it gets Dragon Dance, Mimikyu gets Swords Dance plus Life Orb, which is stronger. Most of the time anyway, or immediately. Really like Groudon as a lead. I think it does very well versus my opponent. Leads Klefki. I feel like this might be one of those magnet risers, but I'm going to click Lava Plume anyway, as my opponent does not have a good switch in. Palkia, the best thing Palkia can do to threaten me with is actually a Specs Earth Power or a Dragon type attack. I'm going to go Lugia just to see if he wants to go for the Earth Power. Yeah, there we go. Good play, good play. And I'm actually going to double out into my Xerneas, predicting I want to go out into Umbreon because that's a pretty safe heal bell. But my opponent decides to go Klefki, which still gives me Arceus as a decent switch-in. And I predict that switcheroo. I don't predict crap. I will throw off a Will-O-Wisp though, as my opponent goes Lugia. I'm not sure what type of Lugia this is. It could be, because my opponent's team is really odd, so it could be anything. It could even be Calm Mind Lugia. We're going to go SCIZOR just to scout for Toxic. Nice. And this gives me a nice and slow U-turn. And if I go first, that means my opponent went for Whirlwind. So we have to go off this slow U-turn. Umbreon is my opponent switching. I do not agree with that. Well, never mind. It took 37%, so I kind of agree with that now. But we can go right to Xerneas and just start clicking Moonblast. It seems that the Klefki is switcheroo, which means that it does not have leftovers recovery. It is an Arceus Steel though. Oh, that's clean. I like that. That's really cool. We'll go Groudon just to take it on. Groudon can take on potential Will-O-Wisp, Judgment. They're usually mono attacking. I guess it could be Swords Dance if it wants to. Let's see. Doubles out into Umbreon. I'm gonna take a foul play. Do I want to take a foul play? I don't think I want to take a foul play. I'm gonna make the SCIZOR play. Yeah, because SCIZOR's gonna take a ton from foul play, but I can actually stall him out of them. I didn't want Groudon to take a foul play just in case it was potentially. Oh, is that you're switching? Just in case it was potentially SD Arceus Steel. I want Groudon to be healthy. And again, we already shown that Arceus Dark is my initial switching. I don't care about those. I don't care about those spikes because we can just defog them away and then throw off a nice Will-O-Wisp right here. I guess Umbreon could come in and synchronize me, but that'll also weaken the damage from foul play. Why can't I hit this? The hell can I hit this attack? Why can't I hit status moves these days? What's happening? SCIZOR is just a scout for Toxic. Goes for foul play. We'll just U-turn route to Xerneas. Oh wow, it's really fast. What the hell? That's bad. Oh, I'm just really slow. It's zero speed. Okay, I just realized it's 0 speed IVs. I'm not going to question Omfuga. He wants a slow U-turn. I understand that and I respect that. I really want to recover though. But we'll click Moonblast here. I'm not going to bother predicting Klefki one more time. Arceus Steel again. We're still weakening it. We're still weakening it. No pun intended. And Groudon should be able to finish off anything with Lava Plume into Earth Power. I also want to get up Rocks because Lugia is a great switching. So right here, it's odd because my opponent could definitely go for a double into Umbreon. I'm gonna make the SCIZOR play anyway. Very good double on my opponent's part. I respect that play a lot. But Rocks are now up. I really do respect that play. And if my opponent wants to go for foul play, I don't have too many more. So I'll let Xerneas take the hit. And I really want to double into Groudon, predicting the Arceus Steel. So we're going to double right now, because my opponent has done it so many times. I can see him going for foul play again, but Arceus Steel comes out, which gives me a Lava Plume. I'm actually going to Roar first. Come on, if I Lava Plume my Oko, oh god. And we phase him out into Palkia, but I do have Lugia as, again, probably the best possible switch into this monster right now. And weakening it with Burn is really nice for, ooh, Ice Beam. Yum, multi-scale. That's the only thing I could say to respond to that. We want to stay at multi-scale though, that way we can always come in on this mon. I like this game though. I think that Rayquaza's stream speed is going to be very good for getting rid of a lot of his mons. Arceus Dark is always a switch in though. To Klefki. Definitely always a switch in. And we'll just defog. I guess my opponent could have Heal Bell, Foul Play, maybe Wish, Heal Bell. I'm going to burn it because I'd rather be burnt than toxic, and I have a roam therapy anyway. Yeah, because synchronize obviously, so that works. I want to get Brox as well, but Xerneas is always just the best play around. Let's see if he has Heal Bell. Alright, so I think it's Wish Protect Heal Bell, which I can definitely respect. Half his mons are cured though, but I will double out into Groudon because Groudon deals with every mon that mon invites in. Let me get up our rocks right here. You know what? If you're gonna go for Toxic, I'm gonna Lava Plume you. I doubt you go for something like Toxic, but I much rather Lava Plume and get off damage on something. And again, I feel like my opponent would double, but I'm gonna make the SCIZOR play because it can give me a roost. That's gonna be a long game, but I think SCIZOR does very well win in the end. I also feel like I can SD up here, but I'm slower than Umbreon, which actually sucks in this game. I'm gonna do it anyway. I doubt you have Foul Play on this monster too. And I want to get rid of Klefki as a switch in because I can always go Arceus Dark and Revenge Kill. The spikes don't affect my Lugia at all. And plus 2 SCIZOR getting rid of Klefki, that's gone. Lovely. Hard Arceus. Hard Arceus just to defog away these spikes. Yeah. Good. So Klefki being gone, again, limited switch-ins to my Xerneas, and we'll just defog away all these hazards. And with the defog, I'll hit my Toxic now, which is awesome. I wonder if you're Scarf. I don't know. I don't know based on the damage. I'm not sure 100% on Palkia damage, but it looks to be Scarf. It actually looks to be Scarf. We're going to double out to Groudon. Though I don't want to take a Foul Play, this guy's giving me a recover with Arceus. So like we're thinking a couple turns ahead. We're playing a couple turns ahead. We're wasting Foul Plays on my opponent's Umbreon. It only has 18 left. I have a bunch of Roost on all my mons, and this gives me recovers. Mewtwo comes in. I'm assuming it's Mewtwo X if you're gonna bring this hard in. Otherwise, it'd be a great bluff. I gotta go Xerneas though. I have to go Xerneas, regardless of what type of Mewtwo it is. I have to go Xerneas. Very solid double into Arceus Steel. I like the way my opponent's playing. I don't know if you can hear it, but I have a smile on my face. And that might sound stupid, but you can definitely hear smiles, okay? You can definitely hear smiles. I don't care what anybody says, you can hear smiles. 100%. So, we'll get up for Stealth Rock here. Lugia comes up. I want to Lava Plume so badly. I'm gonna do it. You're gonna whirlwind me out anyway. There you go. Give me SCIZOR. You give me this mon. Huh. Doesn't matter. SCIZOR gets off slow U-turns versus everything on my opponent's team. Always a slow U-turn. I get to scout what my opponent wants to do. You know what mon do I want to come in? What mon do I want to come in? You haven't seen my Rayquaza all day. I don't want to remember my Rayquaza. I'm not bringing that mon out. Go ahead and phase me around all you want, buddy. There is no way I'm allowing you to Toxic any of my mons. There's no way. I'm gonna U-turn again. That's fine. I understand why you made that play, but all you're doing is giving my Lugia slowly but surely right back up to multi-scale. This how you play versus a Lugia. Give me some nice multi-scale. Ooh. Some clean, crisp turn. Yep, there you go. So basically, it might have looked like it was like a power struggle throughout the game, but I think I definitely had it. Umbreon and Lugia are so passive they cannot beat SCIZOR. All I had to do was just catch him once on the Arceus Steel play, which is why I was so surprised when my opponent opted to stay in with Arceus Steel in front of a Groudon. Because had I Lava Plume there, the game was over. I clicked Moonblast. I clicked Toxic. I won. Even SCIZOR was putting in work, but yeah, that was a game though. We're gonna get one more because that game ended up ending a lot quicker than I thought it would. And this one is definitely not going to, because my opponent has a Mawile and Ho-Oh. Bunch of threats. Bunch of giant threats. Giratina as well, which is going to be annoying for me to break. I'm going to lead Xerneas. Do I? I'm going to lead Lugia. I think Lugia can Toxic everything. If Yveltal is my opponent's lead, I really want to Toxic this guy, though. I don't want to go... Also, I could potentially be faster, so I really want to Toxic him. Put him on a timer. Nice. I land a Toxic on the Yveltal, which is amazing. And we can go right on to Arceus Dart. Yveltal, my opponent does not have a Cleric by the looks of it. I don't think he has a Cleric. So that Toxic should be staying on Yveltal. I put him on a timer. Hard Arceus right now. Let's go. And, I don't want to double out to Groudon, even though I'm predicting Ho-Oh or Mawile to want to come out, or expecting them rather, not predicting. I'd much rather just throw off a Judgment. Yeah, because my opponent ended up going Palkia, so get us some beautiful damage, some 40% damage. I'll take that. Are you Toxic on this Palkia or Thunder Wave? I'm going to Judgment again because that is a 3-hit KO. Drops a Specs Draco Meteor, and I just lost my... Oh, wow, I didn't expect Specs. That had to be Specs to knock me out. I'm pretty positive. We can go Scizor though and get off the U-turn. There was no way that knocked me off if it wasn't Specs, even if it's Lustrous Orb or whatever Palkia's Orb is. Is it Lustrous Orb? I think Lustrous. No, Dialga's Adamant Orb. Yes, this is Lustrous Orb. So we'll just get off a nice Mega Evolved U-turn. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't have a move to threaten. I don't have a move to threaten Giratina though, as his Defogger, but I can threaten the Ho-Oh at least. With potentially Stone Edge. So we're going to get up Rocks here. I don't think my opponent would stay in when he has Giratina as a Defogger. I could see, because Palkia is so low, if I manage to get rid of my opponent's Ho-Oh, I can potentially win with SCIZOR. Oblivion Wing is coming out. I have to go Xerneas. I don't think HP on Xerneas matters in a game versus Ho-Oh and Mawile. So... Oh, let's say maybe my opponent will stay in now. That's how you drop the off guard and you put them in this false sense of security, and that's how you get rid of a Mon that 6-0s your entire team that you got left. You drop that you drop that nice and then you drop the but getting rid of Yveltal is amazing. Arceus Poison is just gonna defog if anything, or Poison Jab. Or Toxic, that's a good play too. Very solid play. I will throw off Precipice Blades here, no matter what my opponent wants to do. As it is Giratina. Giratina is typically Rest Talk, but it could be Defog, looking at it. Because he has Toxic though, I don't think he could touch my SCIZOR. I think SCIZOR can win this game. I'm gonna go Xerneas though. As mid-ground. Yeah, if you want to Defog, I'm gonna Aromatherapy. Should I just double? I think maybe hard doubling into Rayquaza is better, but I want Rocks up. We're going to Aromatherapy on the... Oh, it's Arceus Poison. Okay, that's great. So, Recover, Toxic, I think Ice Beam is better. Or Earth Power. Okay, great. So, I doubt you have a Fire move, but I'm going to double anyway, just in case you do. As he goes Ho-Oh. So, this gives me a potential Toxic on this thing. I'm not worried about... I should be worried about Mawile, but I'm not super worried about it. Because they don't typically run SD. No, Arceus. I want a Psychic, but I don't want to get Toxic, so we'll get off our slow U-turn with Scizor. Yeah. They don't always run SD, they could. I think Baton Pass is more likely. You wanna be and Toxic as well. Toxic. Baton Pass is more likely. I feel like I can go Rayquaza, but I want Rocks up before I actually threaten this Groudon. So if it's Defog on Giratina, I'm not sure if it actually has Rest. I'm not positive as Rest. I can see my opponent staying in here though, just to weaken me for the Arceus Poison. And I do need Groudon in this game a lot. Alright, well played. Well played, well played. We're gonna start phasing around though. There's no way you let me hit you with a rock move now if I have it. So we're gonna start phasing him around. Hopefully get in Palkia or something like that. Maybe Mawile would be great. There's the Palkia. A Dragon move would potentially come out here. I could see that. I'm going to double out to Xerneas, predicting that Dragon move. Because Lugia is also an option in the back. Fire Blast is also a very solid play. Good play on my opponent's part. I like that play. We'll go Lugia, because I can click Psychic now. I really like that Xerneas play, but I like that Fire Blast play. I don't have the best offensive options to knock out what's it called, Giratina, but that Psychic damage is also pretty big. I want to say just for SCIZOR in the back. Palkia goes down to SCIZOR. Don't even need a boost now. I can see a baton pass happening right now. Well, just play rough. Okay, good play as well. We're going to phase him around, though. I don't want to... Sucker Punch is probably the best thing he could do to hit me. I don't want him going Giratina when I could potentially phase in Palkia and get rid of it. Yeah, so Giratina, go ahead and take some damage. I'm trying to weaken him to the point of banning Rayquaza. That's what I'm actually trying to do. And I get him Mawile here, which is great. We're going to go for Roar again, though. We're not going to mess around with this threat. If my opponent wants to, they could just sack... If I was my opponent, I'd probably sack Palkia. But I'm trying to keep up rocks as much as possible. And I keep getting Mawile, which is amazing. That's actually amazing. I'm going to Loud Plume here just in case. If my opponent wants to defog, that's fine. That's on them. This does... nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. That's unfort indeed. Get on my rocks, though. As my opponent drops a Draco. Why is that such a slow Draco Meteor? And then we'll just Loud Plume here and then spam rocks for Rayquaza. So I'll be able to click Dragon Ascent. Yeah, I did not expect that slow Draco Meteor to happen. But I will get up my rocks at the end of the day. No, never mind. My opponent thinks he's Giratina O. That makes sense. That's clean, though. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. So I don't get up rocks because I'm facing a Giratina O with the wrong item. If I'd have known that, I might have switched. I'll just Dragon Ascent here. Knock out the Giratina. I still think SCIZOR has a chance to win. I have to Toxic things, though. I definitely have to Toxic things. Palkia can come out if it wants to. I would love if it just goes Ho and just sacks it to Brave Bird. Mawile is also another option. But this gives me SCIZOR as switching. Yeah, it's a pretty solid switching. And this gives me a U-turn. What are you gonna do? SD here? Oh, Fire Fang. Oh god. Good avoidance. Good avoidance. We'll just throw off some psychics. I need to weaken this guy for BP. Hold up, this is a threat. That's a straight up threat. I don't know if he has SD. I would think Iron Head would be your last move. I really would think like Iron Head would be your last move. I want to click Psychic because I don't want Palkia coming in. I mean, I guess nothing can come in on this mon anyway. But also it just puts Mawile in range of Bullet Punch. Though I guess I'm playing around with crits, huh? Yeah, let me just Roost. That's the better play. I need a Toxic Ho anyway. Yeah. Do you have Toxic of your own? Can we land this? Nice. So throw off a Sacred Fire, which means we should be good to go with just Lugia right now. Yeah, because all I got to do is weaken this Ho. I can even get a Spadef drop, which is great, because Burn isn't going to do any crap to me. It's annoying, but it's not going to be doing crap. And the fact that my opponent doesn't have Psychic switch-ins now, because Palkia dies, Arceus is obviously weak to it. This also, well, you can't even really tell it's weak to it, huh? We'll go SCIZOR. It's a pretty solid double. Because any double my opponent makes, maybe to potentially Mawile or Palkia, SCIZOR deals with Bullet Punch into anything else respectively. I think I just want a U-turn. I guess my opponent could Earth Power here, but I don't want Ho coming in. And now I get to go out into my banded Rayquaza and just click Dragon Ascent. And the only move that Ho can go for to knock me out would be Brave Bird, which means that he would take Recoil. Basically, Choice Band Dragon Ascent is actually able to knock out Ho. That means I SD up now with my SCIZOR whenever Arceus Poison comes out and I win the game. Or you can just go out to this and just sack it because Sucker Punch is not knocking me out. Nice. So I'll be able to knock out Mawile. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And yeah, Palkia's gonna come out. I can just click. I can just sack Lugia and click Extreme Speed after. And just SD up versus Arceus Poison, and SCIZOR will be able to win the game. That was a game, man. that Giratina thought it was Giratina. Oh, I wonder if you're modest specs. Not that it matters because I'm slower than that. I wonder if you're slow speed modest spec. No. Oh, I guess I was wrong. Oh well. We'll go Rayquaza now. Unless he was concealing the Fire Blast the entire time just for this moment, but we go Extreme Speed. Choice Band Extreme Speed. I think it might actually be able to KO SCIZOR, Arceus Poison because, excuse me, SCIZOR. Arceus Poison just because they have to run Spadef to take on Xerneas, and just based on the stab weak Psychic, I think it may be able to. Yeah, that looks like a 2-hit KO. Let's see if we get this roll. As we do, it didn't matter anyway. I just stayed in and clicked Extreme Speed with Rayquaza till it died. That way I can SD up with SCIZOR, and I win the game. So Choice Band, Rayquaza, gonna be able to win that game, and that's GG. So that was actually a really, really fun live. I enjoyed the team. It was really, SCIZOR put in a ton of work. SCIZOR definitely put in a ton of work. Arceus Dark, you guys see how Dark types are just so much better in this metagame, despite Pokemon like Xerneas. Especially because of Pokemon like Lunala running around. But it was definitely a fun game. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Of course, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you did. Also, feel free to check out the Beast Boost merchandise. Beast Boost. We got nice shirts. We got nice hoodies. I think red is probably my favorite. We have mugs as well as stickers. So if you guys want to pick them up, link is down below. Available until March 30th. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.